Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between. You get to see my chest hair today because I'm too lazy to zip it up. You get my marvellous beard and my pink downstairs room, which is, to be fair, not much different of a set compared to my room. Today's video is not the normal match review that I do, only if we win, because I don't want to talk about the Browns when we lose, because I don't have the time to do a video every week. This is on Gabriel and Shadour. Dillon, Gabriel and Shadour Sanders. I can never remember which one's Sanders' first name and last name. I think it is Shadour's first name, Sanders' last name. Similar. The title will be probably Dillon, Gabriel versus Shadour Sanders, all hype or all talent. When it's more on the side of Sanders, the hype and talent, but Gabriel, as we know, is a second choice quarterback, where his levels are. Sanders, we don't know, because he's never played an NFL game. I think he has come on in like the last 5 minutes or whatever. And I got a bit bored. I said I'd do this, but I got bored in college. I was like, screw it, might as well. Look at the pass completions in college. Look, I got the best, worst, and averaged out. I also did passing touchdowns, best, worst, and how many they got per game and total. For Shadour, his best season was 74%. I believe that was his second season at Colorado. Or it might have been his second season at the one he was at before. His worst season was quite bad at 65.9%. But his average did work out at 70.1. I think the 74 was his last season in the NCAA. So he had a 70.1 average, which isn't bad, in all honesty. It's not amazing, I don't think. But I don't expect someone we drafted in the 5th round to be averaging. 70 actually is probably quite good, because that's what 29.9% that aren't quite done, which might be a fumble, and very rarely an interception. I'll go do interceptions, but that's another video. This is purely on passing and touchdowns, comparing where they are. Gabriel's best season was 72.9. That is barely better than Shadour's average. It's quite a bit better. It's 2.8% better, but it's not levels better. It is maybe some of his teammates were better at catching. Probably not, because one of the Colorado one was, I don't remember where it was at. It had a gator as a logo, I think. Sorry, I'm a slurper. I'm an old mingin. His worst season was 59.3%. That is horrendous. Being below 60 when you're playing college football, I think that was one of his first seasons. That's still horrible. His average was 65.2. That is 4.9 less, I think, than Shadour's average in college football, which isn't good. It's not what you want to look at. Now, of course, his best season wasn't much worse than Shadour's best season. But in all honesty, it's still not good. I think he had 5 years in the NCAA. And if you can hear snoring, it's me 2 dogs. And it's just not good enough in college football standards. He's not playing every week against an NFL lineman or NFL CB. I don't know what it stands for. I don't think it's lineman. I think lineman's a joke. I don't know. But you're not playing against every week an NFL level defence. You might face up against every week one. Well, not one. You might face up against 3 or 4 who will become NFL quality. And he couldn't cut it when there's, 15 players on the pitch and 1 or 2 of them in the defence would become NFL quality. He couldn't cut it in most seasons. And when you look at passing touchdowns, I'm not fussed about actual touchdowns that they do themselves. That's pointless. They're a quarterback. That's not their job. I'd look at that for Quinton Judkins, for Samson, is it Samson? Oh, fucking hell. I can never remember the other fucking quarterback we drafted this. Not quite a running back. I'm going to do a video on Quinton Judkins on his own in the future. Maybe I'll do it today and set it for midweek. Sanders' best season in college football had a very good 40 touchdowns, which is good. I think that was before he went to Colorado. I think his best at Colorado was 37. And his worst season was 27, which isn't good, but isn't horrendously bad. Yeah, I think that was his first season at Colorado. It's not good at all, but I think that's when he had his worst season. I think I'd have to double check that. I'm not going to, because me lazy. Gabriel's best throwing season was 32, which is 8 less than Sanders. He had an extra year in college football. I think he's also a year older than Sanders. His worst, it does have reason. The sun's like blocking my face inside. The light's horrible. I don't care. His worst, now there is reasons behind this, was 9 touchdowns, but I think he had a really bad injury that season. He only played 3 games that I can find, and that's what it showed on the website. His overall, Gabriel's overall touchdowns were 155 over 5 seasons. Not bad. He averaged 2.4 touchdown passes per game. Is how I worked it out. My maths is shocking. Sue me. Sanders had 134 touchdowns per game. Jesus Christ, that mint. Had 134 overall passing touchdowns, which works out to 2.68 passing touchdowns. So that's 2.8 more, 0.28 more, than Gabriel, which isn't the best look on Gabriel when the person who's just sat behind you in the rankings, and he has been consistently, is factually better at being a quarterback than you. Fucking Quinton Judkins. I know it's got a special name. I heard about it. I think I was watching the Dogs podcast or clips of it on Twitter, and it said the name of it. I can't remember. I don't give a shit enough to remember. Well, you snap it straight to the running back and he just fucking pelts it. So you snap it, and not having to go. And you can just go, fuck it, pelt it. Which I do expect, but that's why you do a little bit. And he grabs it, he goes, and then pelts it. I look like a muppet. And the person behind you is factually better. I've not pulled up the NFL stats because you can't really. Sanders had all 5 minutes at most in the NFL. And Gabriel's had, 2 or 3 games? Yeah. But even when you look at the attitude, Gabriel, he does not see, he's happy, yeah. He seems happy, seems alright, seems like, yeah, I'm there. Yeah. That's what he's like. Yeah, he's like, I'm there, yeah. Not fussed, doesn't care. You just need to fucking get some fibre in your diet. All I can hear is then. Well, actually, no, if dogs made fibre. I assume they do. I assume it's the dog food. If not, you start giving them apples. But like when you see Shadour, he's just on the sidelines after talking into the radio. I don't know who he's talking to. Like talks to the offensive coordinator. I think, how do we get rid of him? Is it just Stefanski doing the offensive coordinator now? I think it is. I'm talking to Stefanski. Might be going, yeah, mate, am I going on? No. Alright. And just carrying on. I've seen him, I think I've seen clips of him chats with Gabriel. He seems happy. He doesn't seem like this arrogant arsehole who's painted out by the media. And the thing is, it always comes down to this to me. I'm in the UK, yeah. My favourite football club, Manchester United, has had two black lads playing for them. Both were academy graduates. One left when he was young, came back for a lot of money. The other one is currently in the squad. Both were very good. And there was a commentator, I can't remember his name, I don't care to remember his name, who said that he's £100 million midfielder. I expect 4 assists a game. An assist is basically a passing touchdown where you pass the ball and then they score. Sorry, the player passes the ball, the person who passed it scores a goal. He got 4 assists in one game. I don't think it was against the best team ever, but still 4 assists. You get 4 passing touchdowns in a game against the worst offence in the league. You've had a good game, yeah. And he did that. And he was just getting slated by the one bloke, I can't remember his name. He's factually known to be racist. He's a cunt. And it seems a lot like that from the media in the US. I don't think it's anywhere near as bad over here. When you go on like ITV reactions to the draft and shit, because we don't get as much as you over there. But it just seems like they had it out for him. And when he was doing good stuff, like he went to Cleveland more or less immediately afterwards. I think it was like a few weeks afterwards. He was training. I don't know what the training drill was, but he was going up a hill throwing the ball. Or was he running up them? I can't remember exactly. He was training from before day one. He was training the second he'd landed in Cleveland. And he was just constantly doing it. He didn't see that from Gabriel. It's like Gabriel came and was like, yeah, I'm the star. Yeah, whatever. Oh, sorry, he wasn't, but he's like, yeah, I'll be the starter come October. I should do training when I'm told to. That's what I got from him. There wasn't that urgency. Sanders was told he probably was, what was he at the time, 4th, 5th? Josh quarterback. Yeah, he would have been 4th because we had that one who we traded for like a 9th round pick or something daft. It was just daft how the media treated it, because they never said anything he did good, but when I was like sprinklings of rumours that he might have bombed his interviews, something obviously happened. You don't see someone of his quality drop to the 5th round. But I don't think he bombed his interviews like they said. I think people just don't need, I don't think as many teams needed quarterbacks, they need other positions. Or at least they thought they needed a Joe Flacco, for example. I can't remember who was it? Pittsburgh? No, it wasn't Pittsburgh. Cincinnati Bengals. We traded them to. Don't know why I got them mixed up. They needed a senior quarterback, not a backup, or not a young quarterback. They need experience. They thought. Don't know if they do. That's what they thought. I think a lot more NFL teams who don't have a high quality quarterback like the Ravens, a few others. I'm not gonna act like Patrick Mahomes, wherever he is. I don't give a shit. I think he's at the 49ers, isn't it? I don't know. I barely keep track of any other team. And there's other teams like the Giants. Is it the Giants who got Ward? Yeah. He's an excellent player. He's factually probably better than Sanders. I think he's had a bit of an hard time to start in the NFL, but he's still better than Gabriel. I know. Have they got Dolphins? He went to a team where's blue. I don't give a shit. And the teams that needed quarterbacks got him early. And then he probably just fell down the pecking order because we don't need him. We've got decent backups. He won't be happy being backup and no one wants him, so we're not going to be able to trade him. I think if he isn't starting consistently before Christmas, it's a disgrace, actually. I just don't think it's a good thing to be starting someone who is factually worse than him. For fuck's sake, in the training stats that came out, I'd always misread them. I always thought that's how many first team reps he had. Sanders was with the second or third team at one point and pulling out better numbers against the first team defense than Dillon and Gabriel was with the first team offense against the first team defense. He might get on my tits that they're picking him because Shadour can play worse plays and play better against one of the best defences in the league. That's what Stefanski does well. He is an excellent defensive coordinator. Excellent. I think if we were honest, I know last time we had an offensive coordinator, mate, it didn't go quite well. What do you think about trying it again? And you stay defensive and special team because they're all right.